Om Shanti, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to another Yoga Small Talk, and we continue with the 7 minutes of Bhagavad Gita a day. And in the last talk we heard how Arjuna is concluding his arguments why he should not be engaging in the fight against his family, his friends, his teachers. And he collapses in his carriage, drops his bow and says, I shall not fight. But he also surrenders to Lord Krishna completely, taking refuge in the Lord and asking him for guidance. And this Lord Krishna accepts as the key to open the knowledge that will give Arjuna the direction, that will open his eyes to the true reality of the situation. So we are still with the narration of Sanjaya, verse 10. To him who was despondent in the middle of the two armies, Krishna, as if smiling, O Bharata, spoke these words. Why was Lord Krishna as if smiling when he's talking to Arjuna, who is feeling so miserable? He's despondent. So one beautiful explanation that I was taught is that Lord Krishna is omniscient. He knows what's going to happen. He knows how the situation is going to end. So Arjuna is miserable, yes, and he has many arguments why he should not be fighting. But Lord Krishna knows where it's going. So he's giving the teaching as if to persuade Arjuna to fight, but he actually knows that the war is going to take place and how it's going to end. And we see it very beautifully in chapter 11, how it is described that for him, it's all done already anyway. So this is one explanation. And the other is that Arjuna was very dear to Lord Krishna. He was his dear devotee. And he comes and he's in despair. So it is like a mother whose son is in great despair and he comes running, oh mommy, I have this and that, and he's crying and he's miserable. And the mother knows that, the son will be over it soon. And she looks at the child and she gets so full of love. Her face lights up and it's as if she's smiling. So that's another explanation. But either way, Lord Krishna has accepted Arjuna's request and is about to start teaching. Verse 11, chapter 2 is the beginning of the teaching and also the beginning of the commentary. So far we just heard Sanjaya narrating to King Dhritarashtra what's happening on the battlefield. And we also heard Arjuna saying why he should not be fighting, and then he surrendered to Lord Krishna, and now the teaching is about to begin, and with the teaching we also get the commentary. The blessed Lord said, Thou hast grieved for those that should not be grieved for, yet thou speakest words of wisdom. The wise grieve neither for the living nor for the dead. This is a very, very powerful start for the teaching. It is the highest knowledge. It is Jnana Yoga. And some may ask, why Lord Krishna is starting with this? Why not start with something simpler? And Swami Swarupananda, in his teaching of the advanced courses of Bhagavad Gita, explained that Arjuna is like a critical care patient. He is in a complete state of shock. So very severe intervention is needed. So this is like the intensive care. First, shine the light, let him get perspective, pull him out of this dire situation, this dire state of mind, and then there will be someone to talk to. So Lord Krishna is starting with the science of the immortality of the soul, Jnana Yoga, the yoga of knowledge. And he's saying, and this is from the commentary, they who are endowed with the knowledge of the self are wise men. They will not grieve for the living or for the dead, because they know well that the self is immortal and that it is unborn. So Arjuna grieves because people are going to die, and Lord Krishna tells him, you are grieving for no reason. Nobody dies, nobody is born. This is the soul that continues on and on and on and on, and only changes with the physical body. Lord Krishna also relates to all the arguments that Arjuna made in connection with rules of dharma, because Arjuna, remember in chapter 1, he gave many arguments, and he said, thou speakest words of wisdom. And Swami Shivananda explains to us in the commentary that yes, the words are wise, but the approach is unwise. Now, this is not to say that yogis do not grieve. First, this here, again, remember, it's the highest knowledge, is Jnana Yoga. So this is the condition of an enlightened person. And those of us who are not there still need to deal with our emotions when we lose the dear to us. And of course, there is the relationship that is gone. Whether or not the soul continues or not, the relationship is gone, and we're feeling this sense of lack, and we are sorry for it. So it's not that yogis do not grieve, but the wise have the perspective, and they know the soul really is immortal. And then it's just about the body. So Lord Krishna continues with more teachings in this direction, which we will discuss in the next talk. Om Shanti.